The latest on that power struggle in China. The Communist Party will suspend Bo Xilai from the Politburo and Central Committee, according to the official Xinhua news agency. And in economic news out of China today, the country reported an unexpected trade surplus last month as import growth trailed forecasts. March exports rose 8.9% from a year earlier. For some perspective, we're joined by Andy Xia. He's an independent economist and former chief economist for Morgan Stanley's Asia-Pacific region. He joins us on the phone from Hong Kong. Andy, welcome to the show. Thanks for staying up late. What do you make of today's trade figures?
Well, I think that it shows the news is exports are weak, imports are weak. That reflects the domestic economy has been slowing down in the past 2 quarters. So I think that the economy isn't the bottom yet.
And we did see that inflation, particularly food prices for consumers, ticked up. Do you think that this is going to cause the banking arm of the country essentially to ease up on some of the stimulus?
Well, I think that the inflation problem is not gone yet. I think that people were celebrating too early. China's inflation pressure has been accumulating for many years. It's still pretty strong. Well, the monetary easing, it wasn't supposed to be that big anyway. This just confirms that the lending condition has eased a little, but I do not see an interest rate cut anytime soon.
Now, no interest rate cuts anytime soon from your perspective, but I'm looking at a recent analysis that you published, and you said that current old-fashioned monetary stimulus is making the situation in China worse. It will revive a bubble and potentially cause a crash in a year. Do you see that as imminent still?
Yeah, I think that the China's economic difficulties not due to temporary demand weakness. It's really the economic model under pressure. The poverty bubble has been a big part of the growth. Now it's bursting. You cannot replace that with just monetary easing. It's just that it's not supposed to be there in the first place. Then, unfortunately, the exports are not doing well at the same time, and that's not something that China can control. So the economy is in a difficult spot. Now another part. And the part is to reform, restructure, and to improve efficiency and promote consumption.
Andy, you were breaking up a little bit there on that phone line, but quickly before I let you go, there's been some concern of a wider leadership split when it comes to the Communist Party. We read that headline about Bo Xilai being dismissed from the Politburo. What do you see in terms of political risk as it pertains to the economy?
Yeah, I think that the ultimate crisis in China is always a political crisis. And when there is a political situation like what we are seeing now, economic policy is not being looked at closely. So I do not believe that there will be significant policies to deal with economic difficulties anytime soon.
Okay, Andy, we got to let you go. Having some problem with that line there. Andy Xia, independent economist, joining us by phone from Hong Kong.